Mr. Prime Minister, you talked in your speech about free trade, free less barriers in investments, capital, and so on. But should there be some rules and should there be any control? I'm talking about some people accusing Malta of being like a backdoor for money laundering because of its lax regulatory system and its very low taxes.
Well, I think when it comes to taxation, that's part of the basic principles that you get taxation and representation, and it is up to each and every member state of the European Union to determine the level of taxation and the way we determine our own wages and the way we determine our own salaries. I totally refute the idea that Malta has some sort of relaxed rules. Actually, in the last few days we had the Panama Committee report from the European Parliament, which said quite clearly that Malta follows all EU money laundering and OECD guidelines. So maybe we are a bit too successful for the simple reason that we want and we go to get business. We're a bit of go-getters. There should be rules. The rules should be common sense, and it should not be just rules for Europe, but it has to be rules for the whole world. Unless that's so, it would be very difficult to maintain.
But Malta's name was also mentioned in Paradise Papers. Doesn't that concern you?
Well, it was mentioned in the fact that some companies that are open in Malta and which are not secret, we don't have secrecy in our jurisdiction, and it's an open register of companies, had investments in other places. Our part, we're doing our part because there is no secrecy, and the journalists are saying that we are accused maybe of being too attractive, as maybe the accusation to other European jurisdictions, but we're definitely not a tax haven because the EU does not have tax havens within it.
So there is too much smoke but no fire?
No, I think there's no smoke actually, not so let alone the fire.
But you did have some bad publicity this year. I mean, there was also the murder of the journalist Galizia, and you have been personally accused of being to blame for that. What do you answer to that?
For us, the horrific murder of Mrs. Caruana Galizia is not a publicity issue. It's an issue of fundamentals. For us, it is not tolerable that a person, let alone a journalist, is killed in our country. And we have said, so Mrs. Caruana Galizia was a very vociferous critic of mine, as she was a very vociferous critic of the opposition. For us, it's intolerable. We have made, and we are doing, and we're giving all the resources to investigators to make sure that we get to the bottom of it.
Any results yet?
Well, the results, if there are any and there is progress, I would be undermining them if I announce them publicly. So it's up to investigators to say and determine what they can say, when and how. What's sure that we went through an unprecedented situation that we also offered 1 million euros reward for whoever has some sort of information. So yes, we understand that this is a difficult period, but the outrage that is shown by government, by the people, shows that this is not what we stand for. This is not something that we will brush aside.
What do you answer to her family's accusations that Malta is a corrupted state?
Well, I don't agree, but right now the family is in a state where a mother has been killed, a wife has been killed, so I am not interested into getting into a discussion, a debate within such a context. What's for sure is that any allegations, because there is a state of rule, a rule of law in our country, are investigated. I myself, when there were allegations against myself, against my family, totally unfounded allegations, I went in front of court and asked the court to nominate an independent magistrate to investigate the allegations. That's how we do things. We take them very, very seriously.
Where are you on that? Where are you on that? Is it going on? Is that committee
There is a magistrate that is investigating the allegations. I cannot tell the magistrate what to do. How? It's an ongoing. It has been an ongoing process for the past year. So almost a year. just to make sure. I think it's March. I think it has been since March. So I cannot order the magistrate what to do, how long he should take in this. It's an independent magistrate, not chosen by me. I wouldn't have an idea. I hope very soon. I am the person who would have wanted this to be concluded yesterday because there are totally unfounded allegations. And I said, I'm so sure of my situation that I said, not only if there is proof, but if there is even an indication that was said is true, I would resign on the spot, and I hold my word.
Thank you
Thank
very,
you.
very much for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm John.